Hey everybody, Brett from Love Bats and the Belfry back for a new video. I'm here to say Halloween came early this year. I discovered something pretty recently. Even those who are fans of the original special may not know this exists, but I'm here to talk about another Grinch special actually. And no, it has nothing to do with Christmas, but it is a Halloween special called Halloween is Grinch Night, or it's also just known as Grinch Night. But this was a special that aired in 1977, and it's considered a prequel to The Grinch Stole Christmas, or How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yeah, I have to say, there's a pretty good reason, I'd say, why not a lot of people may have heard of this. It's not very good. Basing this entire thing off of how it is without even comparing it to How the Grinch Stole Christmas, this is still just not a very good Halloween special. Granted, it feels very, very different from, obviously, with How the Grinch Stole Christmas, it being Christmas and, you know, in Whoville and the tone and the story, it is completely different. But at the same time, just judging it based on its own merit, it is just not very good. Euchariah is basically involved in this, and Halloween is considered Grinch Night because Grinch goes out Halloween night trying to cause mayhem, and Euchariah just kind of decides to confront him. And that is the entire plot of this entire special. There's really nothing else to it. Sometimes having a very simple plot can work to your benefit. I think there needs to be a little bit more to this, honestly. It would have been one thing to have this be like the end game to Euchariah confronting the Grinch of him being in a foul mood, going out and causing mayhem, was maybe that the Grinch took something away from them, you know, kind of like How the Grinch Stole Christmas. What they really needed in this special was, you know, maybe the Grinch kind of stole Halloween away from like kids trick-or-treating. I think that would have been a pretty solid plot line of why this Euchariah wanted to go out and confront the Grinch because everyone else was scared of him. I think that would have been a pretty decent plot and where we were trying to get to by the end of this special. But this whole special is just kind of like everyone notices the wind acting a little like the wind, there's like this eerie wind in the air, and so everyone like locks their doors and hides in their houses because the Grinch is coming out tonight and it's Halloween. But a lot of the special doesn't really feel Halloween. Like, I'll be honest, I mean, a lot of the coloring and stuff like that is very fall-ish, but it doesn't truly feel like it's the night of Halloween. It just kind of feels like, oh, this was during the fall and it was just a random night of the week that the Grinch wanted to go out and cause mayhem. Yeah, there's just not a lot to this special. And there's like one guy who's randomly broadcasting on the radio to everyone else in Whoville of what's going on with the Grinch, or, you know, kind of like looking out like through this telescope. And Euchariah's family's kind of worried about them. And yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say. There's not a lot that happens. There's like two major things I think people will take away from this special, and that is Max is a pretty sad dog when he's hanging out with the Grinch and everything, but it's like a whole new level in this special. Never seen such a depressed looking dog in like an animated special in my life. I think a lot of animated specials are no stranger to sadness or sad characters, especially like Winnie the Pooh, you know, Eeyore. But like Eeyore, I don't think I've seen Eeyore look this sad in anything ever. Max looked like he just didn't want to exist. And it doesn't help that of the animal abuse in this special. Like there is, yes, I know like when people were using like horse and buggies, you know, sometimes people whipped horses to get them to go and stuff like that. And that's kind of what this is, where it's like the Grinch is like has like buggy and then Max is kind of pulling on it, but like the Grinch just kind of like keeps whipping Max. It's like Max he's a dog, and I don't know, I just don't appreciate the animal abuse in this special. I know it was decades and decades ago, but it rubs me the wrong way seeing that. Call me Mr. Sensitive, but it's like I like animals. I don't want to see them get harmed, even in like an animated type thing. You know, it's like we're not watching a horror movie here. We're actually watching just like a kid's special. What's supposed to be a kid's special. Another highlight from the special is towards the end of what Euchariah has to go through. It's kind of this weird fever dream that Grinch kind of does, this whole like big like fever dream nightmare sequence almost that Euchariah has to basically go through and be scared to death by this thing. I think some people may like this fever dream sequence, and it does have kind of a unique look to it of some of the creatures and, you know, the ghosts and stuff like that. But there were a couple shots, like, I don't want to have my mind in the gutter too much, but I couldn't help think of seeing, there was a couple couple like creatures in there that if the kiddies are watching, I won't say it, but it looked like something that is involved in reproduction. And yeah, like my wife actually watched part of this with me, and even she was just like, it looks like, and I got that vibe immediately as well. So yeah, there's that. But I can see some people liking that sequence. I mean, for it being kids, I don't know if it would scare kids at all. Doesn't make up for the fact of the rest of this special. As this special was going on, I was like, it's okay, I'm not thinking anything of it. And then just the longer it went on, the less I was liking it, and the more I'm thinking about it, the less I'm liking it. I think there's a good reason why this one isn't really talked about. I think most people are obviously, if it's a Grinch story, you're going to compare it to How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which is a classic. But even just judging it on its own, it's just not a very good special. Like, it just had such a different feel. It had such a different animation style and cartoony vibe that at moments I really didn't feel like I was watching the Grinch on screen. It just looked like a guy who looked a lot like the Grinch. And this was really lacking the heart and soul of what the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas had. In that 25-minute special, the Grinch had an entire character arc. This special, it's like Euchariah goes through this nightmare sequence and kind of stops the Grinch from wreaking havoc. And then the Grinch just kind of walks up back to his home, like this buggy of him like carrying it. And that's it. Really nothing else to it. Like, Grinch doesn't learn anything. Like, he just learns like, oh drat, that kid stopped me. I'll get him next time, type thing. Like, that literally is what happened. It's just not very good. Like, it just doesn't have any like big payoff to it really at all. And this says it was written by Dr. Seuss, but I feel like it was just a very lazy way to get people to watch another Grinch special. Granted, it came like years later, and so I don't know if people were like hyped up about this. People clearly don't talk about it now. I don't even think this is on DVD or any physical media, maybe VHS if anything. This is just not that great of a special. Like, there's no Boris Karloff doing narration either. The animation style kind of was like a little odd to me. And yeah, even with it's like, I saw shots of leaves and stuff like that, but I just didn't really get much of a Halloween atmosphere to this. And the very end of it was like a lot of people of Whoville like came out of their home. This weight of like this fear was lifted from them. Yeah, just having like that extra oomph of being like, the Grinch stole like Halloween from us, so we can't trick or treat anymore. Like, if that was part of the plot, that would have added a lot more to why Euchariah even bothered doing this in the first place. I mean, granted, it's like, yeah, when someone's doing something bad, someone wants to step up and stop them, but other than that, there wasn't really motivation to do this, so it's sad. I mean, I'm always on the lookout for more Halloween specials to check out and hopefully enjoy, but this is one that I can't really recommend to people. I mean, besides that little nightmare sequence, some people might get some enjoyment out of it, of how like weird and kooky and odd it is, but it's like maybe 2 minutes long out of the whole special, and the rest of the special is like Grinch whining, and it has, of course, like it's like speaking in rhymes and stuff like that, and it has some music in it. It's not that bad of the music, but it's not going to stick with you the way How the Grinch Stole Christmas, some of the songs and the singing kind of stuck with you. None of this, like, I don't remember a single melody from this. I can't in good faith recommend this Halloween special, unfortunately. I'm always on the lookout for other ones. I watched Garfield's Halloween Adventure, and that was, I watched that as of like the last like year, maybe year and a half ago. And that was the first time I saw it, and I loved it. It was great. Halloween is Grinch night. Don't waste your time. I mean, if you do want to check it out for yourself and form your own opinion, it is for free on YouTube. So there's that. Yeah, there's probably like a few different versions you could find on YouTube. Not worth your time. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you've seen Halloween is Grinch night, I'd love to know your opinion, because I can't imagine that this is like a well-beloved special of people who have seen it. Yeah, this is one that I really wanted to like this, but it's just, I have to call it as it is. And if I just didn't like it, I didn't like it. And there was definitely reasons that I listed like earlier. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in a future video. Bye.